Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Nindies and Indies, a Nintendo fan podcast. I'm your host, ScrapGear, and joining me, as always, my good buddy, Draco Augustus. How's it going, man?
Hey, man, it's going good. I been busy this week and not playing games.
Oh, man. Well, this should make your section of this fairly short.
Yeah.
What have you been playing this past week?
I say no games. I've gotten to play some, just not very long, of a few different games.
Mm-hmm.
I started I did this like yesterday. I started the Christmas special for the Dark Side Detective.
Oh, yeah?
And I just haven't finished it up yet. I'm like almost done. I can't remember what I started. That's one of those games, along with Golf Story, where like if I'm laying in bed and start playing it, like I will fall asleep.
I mean, that is fair, but
yeah.
like, at the same time, it's like, come on. I mean, it's not a super long
No,
thing.
I just fall asleep really easily. Like if I try, even if I'm reading a book that I love, like if I were reading Ready Player One, I'd fall asleep while reading Ready Player One.
Yeah.
If I'm laying in bed and reading it, and that's what was happening. And I did the same thing with Golf Story the night before. I fell asleep playing Golf Story. But other than that, I did pick up a little bit of Splatoon 2. I can't remember if last week I had picked did we talk about the Splatfest that's this weekend?
No, because we recorded just before the Splatfest was announced.
Okay, that's what. Yeah. Well, anyways, I picked my team for Splatfest, which the Splatfest is baseball versus soccer.
What'd you go with?
Soccer.
Okay. I think a lot of people went with soccer.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Which I was kind of like, I don't really like. I'd rather play soccer than baseball, and I think I like to watch them both about the same. Probably, I was pretty indifferent. It didn't really matter to me, but it was Marina, so I picked.
Marina was baseball.
No, Pearl's baseball.
Oh,
she's the one on the left with the pink hair.
I was like, because I remember there was another time where like you had said you went and you picked the little kid Pearl. You had picked Pearl because it's like, oh, well, I'm going to pick Pearl over this one because of this.
No,
there were a lot of people. There was somewhere where people were saying like, oh, well, people only pick this one because that's Marina's side. I'm like, one, Marina's color is teal, so yes, I'm going to pick that side. Two, in this particular situation, this one's better. And that's usually what I go with.
In the last one, I wanted the white ink over the yellow ink for chicken versus egg. Even though, like, the chicken came first. I mean, the egg came first.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this time, like, the colors is, like, red and green or whatever. So, I was just like, I don't care about the colors. And so, I went with soccer.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then yesterday I was hanging out. The kids came home from school. They went out playing in the backyard, and I was looking at my Xbox. I picked up the controller, and something just made me pick Fortnite. Yeah. I thought about Sea of Thieves, and I was like, I don't really feel like having to wait and like get a boat and then have to go get stuff and then be sure to come back and sell it before, it's more of a process. Whereas Fortnite, it's like, I can put it down. Nobody's depending on me. I'm not going to lose anything if I just die, So I picked up Fortnite and started playing that. Well, then the kids came over, or they didn't come over. They came in, and they wanted to play too. And I was just kind of like, okay, like because my older son he plays like Star Wars Battlefront, which really like I think that like Fortnite's probably more like or less violent. I don't know. You kill less people. I mean, per game at least.
I mean, it depends on how good you are. I've seen people get like 30 kills in like a PUBG or a Fortnite game, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
how?
That's nuts. I got my first match. I got like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen people win the game or win a round or win a match, I guess, and only get like 5 or 6 kills.
Yeah,
because
I mean
they're just more focused on surviving than trying to.
Yeah. Even if you're trying to just get a bunch of kills, like it's hard because you start shooting at somebody and that automatically somebody hears it and looks at you and shoots you. Like if you're just running around just trying to kill people, you're not going to last very long. Unless you're just like super good. So I let the neighbor kid play and she was just like, oh, this is awesome. And she could barely even turn the thing, and she's older than my son too, but she just hasn't played as many games, but she likes it. And I'm just like, why do you even like this game like more than like Splatoon or something? And then my son was the same way. Like he didn't even get any kills, but he's just ready to play the next game. But he also got to like 6th place.
Oh, there you go.
But by just building stuff and hiding and stuff, and moving towards the middle and then building something and hiding, and then he would eventually get shot. So, and he doesn't have quite the skill as anybody else playing that game about. So it's but yeah, it was interesting, and they like it, and I'm just because I'm just kind of like, what makes this game so addicting? But it is. It's like you're just like, oh, one more. Oh, just one more. It won't take long. I'll die real quick. But then you die real quick, and it's like, oh, I died too fast. I want just one more.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is. That game is very addicting, and I even asked my son. I was like, hey, why do you like that game so much? And I told him I was like, I'll probably talk about it on the podcast. And he was like, oh, well, I'll have to think about it, but really, I don't really know. I mean, it's almost like a mix between Minecraft and a Star Wars Battlefront. And those are 2 of my favorite games. And I don't know. I just really liked it. And I was like, okay. And he's like, and it's easier than Minecraft, which, it like gives you like things to build, and so he was doing that pretty well. Like he built one of like, there's like a basic box that you see people build that has a ramp on it that you can go up and down, and he figured that out without me trying to tell him like, hey, do this. Like he just like did it because he knew he needed to be able to pop up and look out but then come back down and be surrounded, so
nice.
Yeah, it was neat. But now he's probably just gonna always want to play that. And, I'm just going to have to be a parent and say no sometimes, which I had to do today already. So,
oh boy,
I let him play a match, and I was like, okay, it's time to start settling down. And he's like, oh, but I just got to play one time. I was like, yeah, but you lasted a long time, and it's time for bed. I was like, oh, yep, sorry, bud. Then I just turned it off. So,
yeah.
And he stomped off to his room. Like, oh man, But yeah, that's about it. How about you, man? What have you been playing?
Been playing a good chunk of stuff. I finished the story for Super Mario Odyssey again, so now I'm just going back through all the kingdoms, re-getting all the new moons that you can't get until after you finish the story. So I've already got Cap Kingdom and Cascade Kingdom done. So now I'm working on Sand Kingdom, and then I'll be going from there. So. Just kind of slowly ticking away at that. Played some more Mario Kart. And what else? Oh, I tried to go pick up Kirby Star Allies because my wife and I have been playing more games together, and it's like, oh hey, Kirby Star Allies. That's a co-op game. Even so much so that all 4 of us can play it at the same time. Sold out at GameStop. Sold out at Walmart. I didn't check Target, but
goodness.
Yeah, I was talking to the GameStop guy, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, like it's crazy. Like we got in like 5 or 6 copies because they're a small store. They don't get a lot of business in. But he was saying it's like, oh yeah, we got like 5 or 6 copies in just the other day. gone like within the next day. I was like,
Oh, wow.
super. Okay. And he's like, well, did you pre-order? I was like, well, no. I was told I couldn't.
Oh, yeah. It's a very playable game, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like for, like you were saying too, all ages, anybody can pick up a controller, and even if they're not even doing anything, if you're Kirby, if once they go off the screen, they just teleport to you.
Yeah.
You know, so they can't even fall off the edge and die, I don't think. They just like teleport back up to you. So
yeah. But I did manage to play some Splatoon. I actually got to play some Splatoon with N64 Josh, and a bunch of
awesome.
and a bunch of his viewers. And I was having a lot of fun and also getting really frustrated at the same time because like I'm trying to get used to using the umbrella.
Uh-huh.
And there were a couple of games where I'm like, okay, like I'm doing pretty good. And then like 6 games in a row, our team got stomped and I was just getting stomped constantly. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, yeah, like I need to switch. And then I switched to the dualies and I did pretty good for a couple of matches with that. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be just stuck on the dualies. Like I'm okay with the dualies. I know I'm not superb at it, but I can do well enough that I don't feel like I got stomped. So I went and I tried, a couple of different weapons, and every single one of them was just like stomp, 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 stomp. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to have to stick with the dualies because that's the only thing that I can use.
Yeah.
That got me a little frustrated, but,
Well, when that same thing happens to me when I play with Josh and his viewers, a lot of them are really good. So if you're not using what you're best with, you're gonna get wrecked. Like, because I tried using like a sniper, I was like, oh, this will be fun. No, it's not fun.
But yeah, so and I didn't hop into any other games. And then I remember last week on our episode when I told you, it's like, yeah, I want to try to get more into Splatoon 2 and like get more into the PvP and like try to build up a decent set of well-rounded gear that I can swap out weapons, and then I can just go and play, whenever I get the chance. Excuse me. And I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I play, a lot for the next Splatfest. And then we found out that the next Splatfest is this weekend, which I can't play a lot on because I'm going to a Bruins game Saturday night.
Oh yeah,
So
I think it starts tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night when I need to go to work.
Yeah.
And then I'll be sleeping during the day, and then I'll get up and I'll go to the hockey game, and I'll be gone late for that. So I was like,
Splatoon.
I'll get it next time. I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah. It'll get you racked up with those shiny seashell things, sea urchins. I don't know what they are. That's just, every time I have the opportunity to I know what they look like, but I don't know.
They're like the spiral shells or something. I don't know. Yeah. Doesn't matter. I'll get to it eventually. But then I went and I talked to my kids because we have a in the HDMI port on the TV upstairs, we have a 3-way splitter because I wanted to switch between the Xbox and something else. I don't remember if I had the PlayStation up there at any point. I don't think I did, but when the Switch came out, that was when I was like, okay, we need to get an HDMI splitter, so that way I can go between the Switch and the Xbox One. But it's got 3 spots on it, so I talked to the kids. It's like, okay, well, let's move something from the basement and unplug it from my desk and everything, and we'll bring it upstairs. What do you want to bring upstairs? And originally my daughter was like, oh, well, let's bring the PS4 up. And I was like, I mean, what are you going to play on the PS4? Oh, it's like, nothing. Okay. And it's like, okay, well, so we'll leave the PS4 downstairs. So we've got the Super Nintendo Mini and we've got the Wii U. Which one do you want to move upstairs? And she's like, oh, Wii U. And I was like, okay. So we moved the Wii U upstairs. Played a little bit more of Super Mario 64. Not a lot. Yeah. Like I was playing it and I was just like, I'm moving really slow. I felt like I was getting used to because that camera is inverted, because it's made. I know that a lot of people who are like, oh, well, if you're playing inverted, or what would be inverted, quote unquote, you stick a stick into the back of the person your head. If you push down on it, they look up. You push up, they look down, and do that stuff. So that's kind of how the camera works in Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
And it takes me a bit to be like, oh, that's right. If I push up, I'm going to start looking at the ground. Okay.
Yeah. That's funny. That kind of reminds me of I play Splatoon with motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
But when we'll play at work and swap off, when we do that, I will put it on the station profile, and it's called Station.
Yeah.
And which makes me think of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Anyways, it's inverted basically when you have motion controls on, because you push your controller down and they look, like that.
Yeah.
So when I switch to playing on the station profile, I can't do it. It's weird. Like I want to try. I try to move the controller, and I'm like, why isn't this working?
You're like my mom when I was 5 years old trying to play Super Mario World, and instead of pushing the button to jump, she's just flicking the controller, and then I just watch Mario just fall into a pit.
Exactly. And then also the like, it makes me want to try to push the thumbstick forward too. Like, so I will, instead of actually like, the not inverted, where so I'll like push up on the thumbstick to try to look down, but I'm pushing up so my character looks up, and I'm just like, I can't do this. It's insane. Although they keep the other guys keep the skill level nice and low as far as matchmaking goes.
Yeah.
So we were doing ranked matches, and I ended up getting like 28 kills in one match.
Oh, jeez.
Awesome. And that was with like a splat roller too. I can't remember which. It was the splat roller that had like it was the splat roller that had the squid beacons, and I think Tenta missiles for
nice
for a special. Sorry, I interrupted.
That's
what
okay.
You were talking about, which was Super Mario 64.
Yeah, so I played that for a little bit, and then I booted up the Xbox, and I was like, what do I want to play? Oh, I remember what made me want to actually boot up the Xbox. I saw a message from Thaddeus Prime in the Mulehorn Gaming Discord saying that Terra was announced for PS4 and Xbox One, launched that day, and I was like, oh, it finally hit console? So years ago, this is at least within the past 8 years, because I'm pretty sure Fiona was born by this time. If not, it was before she was born. I had tried to get into MMOs. And like I played Star Wars The Old Republic. I really liked the story in that. But like doing all of the extracurricular stuff I was not very good at, namely because I never grew up playing PC games.
Mm-hmm.
And there are programs where you can try to go and map the keyboard buttons to a controller. They don't always work very well. But I was looking around, I was like, there's gotta be, so like I tried Star Wars The Old Republic, I tried World of Warcraft, I've tried World of Warcraft on multiple occasions, and again, like, it's the whole keyboard mouse thing. It's not the way my brain is wired. I like to have a controller, which is one of the things that I was really excited about with Hyper Universe, was that it had a controller. But I found Terra, which was a Korean MMO, that it was an action RPG. So it played, I don't want to say like the battle system from Kingdom Hearts, almost, kinda. Like you were running around and you were fighting enemies, but it was in a 3D environment. So it was it was an action RPG, and they built it so that you could either use a keyboard and mouse, or they did have controller support. So I was like, ooh, that's really interesting. And it's free to play. If you want elite status, you can go and, pay the monthly subscription for that, or you can play for free. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go and try this out. The controls were a little wonky. It was not perfect. I kind of dropped off of it after a while just because, like, it had controller support, but it was still clearly better to play it with keyboard and mouse. And so just wasn't my thing at the time. But I found out that it got released on console, which means they did something with it. So I downloaded it and I started playing again.
There you go.
I only got through the opening area, but yeah, I'm excited to play it again. The other game that I booted up this week and I started that I was super excited for this game when it came out. I pre-ordered it actually on both consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, because I love this series. I have the previous two titles on both PS3 and Xbox 360, and that would be Dragon Age Inquisition. I was super excited for that game when it came out, and I never beat it.
I saw that it's on sale right now on not Games with Gold, but for Gold subscribers.
I think if you have EA access, it's free to download, but at the time, but that would be just the base game. At one point, I went back to go and play it on the Xbox, and a bunch of DLC had come out at that point. I was like, ooh, I should go and buy the DLC because I still have the disc. And then I went and was looking at it and saw that the Game of the Year edition was on sale. And the Game of the Year edition was cheaper than buying all the DLC. And the Game of the Year edition came with all the DLC. So I bought it digitally and ended up trading in the disc, but now I have all the DLC for it. So I'm just slowly working my way through that. For some reason, every single time I've tried starting it up beforehand, just like, unlike with all the other ones, like when it starts up, you meet like really interesting characters right off the bat. This one, it seems like all the really interesting ones have been pushed back, or the ones that are really cool from the older games are not party members. It's like Liliana from the first game. She's there right off the bat. She's the spy master for the Inquisition, but she's not a party member. She's just there just to be the Inquisition spy master. I'm like, you gave me Varric, but not Liliana? Gah! But yeah, so I'm going to work on trying to finish that game while playing a little bit of Terra, playing a little bit of other stuff. My daughter started playing Super Mario Galaxy now that we brought the Wii U upstairs. She is not having as much fun with that game as she thought she would. She saw me play a little bit of it and was like, oh, it copied Super Mario Odyssey. I'm like, well, technically this game came out way before Super Mario Odyssey, so Odyssey copied this one. With some things. But
that
unlike
game doesn't have an easy mode.
Yeah, there's no assist mode. And that is something that she constantly reminds me that they have in Odyssey when I'm playing and she's watching me. Like, I'll jump into the water and I'll be swimming and like I'll go and I'll have to find an air bubble or something because I've got the breath meter. She's like, well, why don't you switch it to assist mode? There's no breath meter. It's like, I don't need assist mode.
Yeah.
I was like, but you need breath. And it was like, and then I go and I capture a cheap. I was like, now I don't. Haha. Yeah. But yeah, so that's all that I've been playing, which is a bunch of stuff.
That was a lot. You kind of sounded like me. You're like, yeah, I played this game a little bit, and then I jumped on this game for a little while too, and then this one, and then I brought this console up here, and I started playing this one.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Just a lot of a little bit, or a little bit of a lot. There we go.
Yeah.
A little bit of a lot.
A little bit of a lot of different.
Something. But as far as news this week, not a whole lot. I peeked through my email and there was not a whole lot going on in that, but there was an announcement that I saw on Twitter today that I'm excited for, and I did not think to... Nope, I didn't. I can't think of what the publisher's name is off the top of my head, But they created Firewatch, and they announced that Firewatch is coming to the Switch this spring. So within the next couple of months, we're going to get Firewatch, the award-winning game Firewatch.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
I
know I've heard of it, but I just never looked into it.
It was definitely one of those more story-driven games. Like, it was on when it was announced at E3. It was pretty much, you were walking as this guy, and like he was talking to Delilah through this walkie-talkie because she was in another tower, and like he's going through this cave because somebody like said that they got stuck there, and like he gets there, gets them out, and it's like, okay, well, we should go and check and make sure nobody else got in, or go and check the way that they said they got in, because that gate should be gated or locked and whatnot. And like you go through, and it's like, and then Delilah's like, hey, did you already make it back to your Firewatch tower? No. Why? Because there's someone in there right now. And then like it zooms out, but I know that it was award-winning. I vaguely remember that. Yeah, and then like a lot of people, when it came out, they're like, I mean, I don't want to spend $20 for a walking simulator. And for the most part, that's kind of what it is. But it's not about the gameplay. It's about the story, which is where it got all of its awards. So, I have it on PS4. I never played it because, again, like it was one of those things like I'd have to sit somewhere and play it, and it's one of those games where like I would love to play it in pieces and chunks on the go. But yeah.
I saw a game that's supposed to be coming out that you said walking simulator, and that's what it is. I can't remember what it is, but it looks pretty trippy. Looks kind of cool. It's like just you walk through, and as you walk around, like the environment will change and do stuff as you interact with it. Anyways, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But that is all that we really got for news this week. Not a whole lot. Like I said, not a whole lot going on. I apologize for last week's episode getting out late. I had some technical difficulties. But that should be going up right around the same time that this one is. But do we have any listener mail?
No, we don't. Do you want to hit the talking point of Fortnite coming to the Switch? Or no?
I mean, it's
we
kind of
really
been
hope it comes to the Switch.
We hope it comes to the Switch, so that way the Switch has something that will be like, one thing that Josh has said is like he wants something from Nintendo to be in the top 5 of the Twitch directory. There we go. And I was like, well, I mean, something like Fortnite, if that came, or Switch or PUBG came to the Switch, and that would get technically the Switch platform up there, though like the people with the most viewers are going to be on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. But I mean,
it'd just be cool, which, and we kind of talked about this before we started, but the fact that it's already on mobile, like I don't see how it won't be. And also another good reason they might that would proceed bringing it to the Switch would be that I heard that on mobile they actually have bots, like NPCs, instead of
that would be nice
players. That kind of fills in the rest of the 99.
I know there's I don't know if it's a co-op mode or if you can do it as single player. But they do have a PvE mode for it.
Yeah, that's
so that would be another great thing to have come to the Switch, because it'll give something that's the Battle Royale style game on the Switch, which the Switch doesn't have yet. And it's a really popular game.
Yeah.
It is surpassed. I was actually I was looking at Twitch earlier because I wanted to see if anybody was streaming Terra that was interesting to listen to. I didn't notice anybody, but Fortnite had almost 2,500 more viewers than PUBG did, which made me a little happy.
Yeah, I definitely have grown to like Fortnite more and more than PUBG. Not that PUBG's bad, just I mean that I could not have played in front of the kids at all. Like,
yeah, no,
it's much more, I guess realistic, I guess, and there's blood and stuff. Whereas Fortnite, it like,
you can ride on rockets,
it shows like their little hit counter with how much damage you took off their shields, and very, very sci-fi, and when you go down, it shows like a little robot kind of scanning you. It's pretty fairly family friendly, I guess. I don't know if I'd go as far to say that, but I think it would definitely
it's family
fit on the Nintendo
friendlier than PUBG.
Yeah. I definitely think it would fit on the Switch a lot better than PUBG too. And then maybe we'll have that Mushroom Kingdom,
the
Battle
Mushroom
Royale
Kingdom
zone.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
just like running around, suddenly you trigger an environment thing, and it's just a piranha plant that comes out of a green tube and just
Oh, that would be awesome, because there are traps in Fortnite that you can put down if you could.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if you could put down, like, you just drop a tube and a piranha plant like shoots up out of, or it comes out of the ground or something, and somebody walks by it. Ah, geez. Unreal
awesome.
Needs to be listening to this. And then, like, the picture there of, their...
Oh, yeah, you got Mario, Peach, Yoshi, an Inkling, and Luigi via Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Just kind of floating by. But, yeah. So, anything else we wanted to talk about?
No, man. No.
Alright. Well, with that, then, this is going to be a very short episode. Draco, where
That's
can people...
okay. We've got more stuff coming. You don't worry.
Yeah. So, Draco, where can people find you?
You can find me at Draco Augustus on Twitter, and my Mulehorn Gaming email address is draco@mulehorngaming.com. And either of those places, you hit me up, and I'll get back to you in whatever way you want. I'll get back to you, or we can figure out how you want to play a game with me if you want to, or not. Either way.
As for me, you can find me everywhere as ScrapGear. I did find out that the other day when I was looking through, they did add new ways to add friends to the Switch. If you're friends on Facebook and you follow each other, or they follow you, or whatever on Twitter, but you do have to have your Nintendo ID or your Switch profile linked to your Facebook and your Twitter profile to be able to send friend requests that way. But it does work. But yeah, like I said, everywhere as ScrapGear. Be sure to follow Nindies and Indies on Twitter at Nindies N Indies. That's Nindies twice. Because "and" was too long. And be sure to hit us up on Twitter with that hashtag StarRoadMail if you have any questions for us, or just a talking point that you want us to discuss on the air. Also, be sure to check out our home site at mulehorngaming.com, where they've got a whole bunch of cool stuff going up all the time. Draco's usually got a bunch of reviews going up for indie games. I know Mulehorn117 just put up a review for Far Cry 5, or he was working on it. I don't remember. I think it did go up. I know something went up about Far Cry 5. But yeah, and if you like listening to podcasts, and you like listening specifically to video game podcasts, be sure to check out the Analog Assault podcast, the official video game podcast of mulehorngaming.com. But that is going to do it for episode 9 of Nindies and Indies. Until next time, GG.
GG.